Hi guys, my name is Maria and I'm a dog groomer. I'm sure we've all seen Pooch Perfect on TV by now. If you haven't, it's a TV show on BBC One about dog grooming. Groomers are placed in a competition environment and every single week they are given a different challenge. Some they seem to be prepared for and some they aren't. And let me tell you, us groomers, we really appreciate the chance of being on primetime TV, have our profession shown to a wider audience so people understand what we're doing. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be the case for the public. Pooch Perfect highlights every single aspect of dog grooming. It shows grooming puppies, pet trims, breed standard, and the most controversial of them all, creative grooming. And that's the topic I'm going to be talking about in this video a little bit further, because so many people just seem to think that creative grooming is abuse, it's neglect, it's all these horrible words you can imagine, and I just wanted to talk about that with you guys a little bit. So as I said, we hear the word dog abuse so much and I just wanted to correct that straight away for you. Animal abuse means neglecting an animal, you know, not feeding it, not giving it water, shelter, not seeking vet attention when it's necessary, letting your animal get matted to the skin or ingrown toenails. Applying a bit of pet safe dye isn't animal abuse. Please stop throwing that word around because that couldn't be further from the truth, and I'm about to tell you exactly why. I'm going to show you some creative grooming versus some actual neglect, and this is a bit of a trigger warning. If you're someone who finds pictures of neglected dogs upsetting, I would recommend looking away for a little bit. But for comparison, would you say this is animal abuse or this? Or maybe this? Or that? Or how about this last one versus that one? Do you see my point here? Now, is creative grooming necessary? Well, of course it isn't, just like doing a breed standard cut on a dog isn't necessary anymore. Now that we're using dogs for work less and less and less, a poodle doesn't need all the hair around its organs to protect the organs from the cold water, or a terrier need long brows to protect the eyes while in rat tunnels. But we still do it. And guess what? It is because the owners want it, because it looks pretty, it's aesthetically pleasing. And this is going to be something we are going to be doing for years to come. If we only did what was necessary, we'd just be clipping all your dogs off all in one length and call it a day. Many people also claim that dogs are not accessories and they should just be left be. But did you know that Cavaliers were actually bred to be lap dogs to keep us warm in the cold winter months? And on top of that, we are also responsible for breeding dogs for vanity. And this vanity is causing a lot of breeds to have severe health issues. Just think of all the bulldogs. The more wrinkles and the shorter their muzzle, the better it is in the eyes of the current beauty standard that surrounds dogs. Same with German Shepherds. We have spent decades breeding in this horrifically sloped back, and that is causing severe spinal and hip issues. Many dog breeds are completely different today than they were 100 years ago, and that isn't always a good thing. I would really recommend you to look at the history of your own dog breed and just see how far the breeding has come just in the name of vanity. And we could also talk about the average diet of our dogs. Obviously, dog diets are now far more varied than they were before. The options we can give our dogs is so much better. A lot of people are moving on to raw food or as close as possible. But if you look at the average supermarket kibble, they are more cereals and derivatives than they are actual nutrition. And on top of that, they are heavily dyed in some cases, but we are still more than happy to give that to our dog on a daily basis. Using a supermarket kibble is like feeding your kids McDonald's for every single meal, but we're not shouting about how unnecessary that is. Okay, I have gone off on a bit of a tangent, so let's get back to creative grooming and what it's all about. The process definitely isn't for every single dog, and no dog is forced into it. If a dog finds a normal grooming appointment stressful, of course we're not going to use your dog for creative grooming. If your dog doesn't like its feet being held, we're not going to use nail polish on its nails. It is just common sense. And you know what? The dog is not going to think, oh, I look ridiculous, why do I have pink ears? All my dog friends are going to laugh at me. They are not going to know. All they're thinking about is, oh yay, I'm getting a lot more attention, I'm getting a lot more praise, and I'm getting a lot more treats than I usually do. This is so much fun, I want this again. And most salon creative, so stuff we can do on a day-to-day basis, is usually fitted into the same slot as your normal groom would be, so it doesn't take any longer. We're not putting your dog through any kind an extended period of standing, and any competition creative is actually done in stages over days or weeks. And all products used in creative grooming are actually specifically designed to be used on dogs. Some of them are food grade, so even if a dog licks a bit of dye, it's not going to be harmful. Obviously, we try to avoid it. We don't recommend a dog just licking some dye, but they are designed not to be harmful to a dog. Most products used in a salon environment are only temporary. Chalks and blow pens tend to just wash out in one go. You can use semi-permanents that will last a little bit longer, and the permanent dyes are designed for the very adventurous clients or competition creative. And any responsible groomer will do a patch test on your dog before starting anything, just like we would do a patch test when we go to a new hair salon to have our hair done. And at the end of the day, creative grooming doesn't have to be for everyone, and that's absolutely fine. I just want to highlight the fact that a bit of dye and a bow or a ribbon is not animal abuse. We are dog groomers. We do this job because we love dogs. The last thing we want to do is to hurt your dog. We all get so attached to our clients, and we do treat them like our own. I think Pooch Perfect is doing amazing things to the grooming industry in the UK. They understandably don't have all the time in the world to display every single aspect of the grooming during the 1 hour slot they have, but the bad feedback the public is giving the show is so unjustified. If you're not sure how something works, please go and research it. Have a chat with your own groomer, see what they think about all the stuff that is happening on the show. You know, we love talking about our work. It is our absolute passion. We wouldn't do this job otherwise, so please just have a chat with your own groomer, because I bet they could answer any questions you have about anything you see on Pooch Perfect every week. I appreciate that creative grooming is still a relatively new thing in the UK, but getting the RSPCA involved is just so unnecessary. And the statements we've had from RSPCA about colouring dogs as well is just such an overreaction. You know, a show like this wouldn't have been given a prime time slot on BBC if anyone thought that what was happening in the show was not okay. All the people behind the show are also groomers, so they do know what they're talking about, and they wouldn't be displaying anything that they think is harmful or wrong. Okay guys, I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about. I really hope this clears some of the misconceptions you may have about creative grooming and how it all works. But if you have any other questions, please do drop them down in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer all your questions. And if you did like this video, if you found it informative, do share it with all your friends and family, and just get the word out that creative grooming is okay. And if you wanted to stick around and watch some more dog grooming related content, do consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss my next upload. Bye guys.